welcome to Cinema Sessions.
Thank you. I'm excited.
You have no idea what we're going to watch.
I have no idea.
It is going to be a view. At least a little bit.
Okay, all right.
You've had some
Should I be worried?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's do it.
You've had some great memories here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love, I feel like I'm at the movies here and I love to go to the movies.
Popcorn? You want to hit it a
ready.
little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers, yeah.
Oh. What do we have here?
How old was I here? 11?
Okay, now do you remember this match?
Yes, I do.
Tell us.
Second round of the Australian Open in 1999 against Makarova.
Yes.
And I won this match. I got to the third round. I was 15 and Mark Philippoussis and I just won the Hopman Cup.
No way.
How's my memory?
That's amazing.
There you go.
Good job, by the way. So the thing is this is your not only your Australian Open debut, but your Grand Slam debut.
Yes, it was. I remember this.
So you're 15. It's your
Yes.
Grand Slam debut, and you
Yeah.
end up against the world #1.
Yeah.
Two-time reigning champ, I think, Martina Hingis.
Hingis, yeah. She was really a role model and an idol for me. Monica Seles and Steffi Graf, when I was growing up, they were my idols.
Yeah.
And then I got kind of into the juniors and through 97 and 98, and Martina was so young, already winning Grand Slams, and I remember watching her. And then, playing her here in the third round, which was a little bit, almost daunting, because
Yeah.
you just kind of, as well as I was already doing, you just come out of juniors, and then the next thing you know, you're playing Grand Slam champions and
On
the world
the
#1.
biggest, one of the biggest
Yeah.
stages. What was the feeling walking out onto Laver, Rod Laver Arena?
It was amazing. It was, I remember I really liked Rod Laver Arena straight away. It was such a big court though, and I feel like the occasion and everything, I had to get used to it. But
Yeah.
I actually, even though I lost this match and even the scoreline was kind of easy, I actually was like, okay, I remember thinking, I've done some good things here. Martina's amazing. There's no one better to test yourself against than the best.
Yeah.
And this actually happened to be the year then 6 months later at Wimbledon, I beat her in the first round.
Yeah. Okay, so this is still 99.
Yes.
And we love this footage because here you are, you're still a kid, but you're practicing, there's cameras everywhere, there's
Yeah.
people chasing you down.
Yeah.
What was that feeling of being this young and having all this attention?
Oh yeah, I remember this. This is Leslie Barry. In fact, in the background, she was my coach at the time.
Oh,
I
really?
love Leslie.
Yeah.
She took me through.
Just in the sunglasses?
Yes, so
Yeah.
she took me through juniors and through this period. She won Roland Garros and she was an unbelievable player. There we go. Oh, I love that because Leslie was, for me, I looked at her as a mother figure. And I did all of that travel there. Oh, I've never seen this footage.
No way.
Oh my God. You really see someone and you go, oh my God, these are amazing qualities, and she's so kind and she's so caring. And that was important for me in that moment because kind of I didn't have an easy time at home, but it shaped me in who I am because I was like, she's an amazing person and I can feel that, and
Yeah.
I want to be that later on, and I
Right.
want people to feel that
Right.
when they're around me. So yeah, that's
Jelena,
amazing.
shit, where's the tissues?
No, I'm almost literally crying.
It's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
this
not going
is-
to cry, but yeah, this is special. I love this. Amazing.
Usually we do, like throwback cinema here, but we also do some tear jerkers as well.
Yeah, no, this
Cinema
is
sessions.
excellent.
Okay.
Oh, you made my day with this.
Good. Well, let's
Yeah.
keep making your day.
Awesome.
We're going to
Okay.
fast forward 10 years
Ooh.
and tell us what's happening here.
Yes, 2009.
Things look a little different, don't they?
Yes, they do. 2009, this was my match against Caroline Wozniacki, third round. And for me, this was a little bit of my kind of comeback after a few tough years, and I hadn't played in a Grand Slam. I think it was about 5 years since I last played my last Grand Slam match. I was going through a lot, and especially when it came to my mental health. So just even to be here and
Nice point.
yeah, just even to be here was like a win. It was almost a little bit of a rebirth for me, but also with the Aussie fans as well. So it was amazing. I've watched a lot of this footage since then, and I always get goosebumps. And for Caroline, she's an amazing player, obviously.
It's so cool
yeah,
to.
have
It's
so
so
much
cool
respect for
because
her.
you. Well, yeah, and Wozniacki back
Yeah.
this year, obviously, but
Yes.
there was something magical about this return, and to make it all the way to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And as you said, you hadn't played a main draw of a major in 5 years.
Yeah, and I think if you look at it, and if I look back, it was really a comeback for me, and really a new lease on life. So not just as a tennis player, but life. And even though I retired pretty quickly after this due to injuries, it was a very important moment in my tennis career to do well in Australia, because I always wanted to do well in Australia. It's not easy to do well in your home country.
So much pressure.
Yeah, even if you deal with pressure and expectation well. But yeah, I can say I've had a great run in Australia in front of my hometown fans, and I already kind of lived in Melbourne at this point. Yeah, I know.
It's absolutely
amazing.
heaving.
Full house.
Yeah.
Loved
And what's
it.
how do we do the trademark? Is it like you're here, the double fist pump?
Yeah, I did this, but I did this a lot. I did this. Yeah, there was a few.
In the next round, do you remember who you played?
Yes, Alisa Klebanova.
Ah.
Yeah.
Look at it though.
I know.
Like even in Garden Square.
I didn't know this.
Ah. So this is for.
So this is.
Yep.
Oh, really?
You're on the big screen.
Yeah, but this was a fantastic match. I played really well. She played well also. And I won the first set. I remember that. And then, I had just a little bit of a drop in the second, almost a little bit physically, mentally. And she took that opportunity. And the next thing, there it is. Come on. The next thing you knew, we were in the third set. So...
What I think it's easy for us, to look back and say, "Oh, it was magical, it was momentous, there was magic dust sprinkled on you." But when you think back to these moments, what was it that allowed this run to play out the way that it did?
I think I came in a way out of nowhere from the bottom, which isn't easy when you've been top 5 in the world, and so I kind of felt like I got that confidence back for kind of the first time in 5-6 years. Where that as a player is a big thing to feel that. I remember this return because I played such a good game to hold my serve in a previous game, and it was La 40. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go for this return, especially to my backhand. I had a great backhand,
You sure
especially
did.
down the line. Look at where I'm standing. And I made up my mind, that was it. I was going to go down the line. Yeah.
What a way to, also like such a dramatic match. 8-6 in the third set. What a way to win it.
Yeah, amazing. And actually, being on the court after this match, I felt goosebumps with the crowd. It was amazing. It was hard not to cry. And here, it was not, I actually didn't, to be honest, I didn't cry because I won. I was so obviously happy to be in the quarterfinals. I actually cried because of the crowd.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's how much it meant to me, to be back, to feel that love. That's why I cried. It was like, because they rode every single point with me.
That year you ended up losing in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Sorry to spoil it for you at home.
No, that's okay.
But you lose to Dinara Safina,
Yes.
who goes on to make the final. But the entire run consumed Australia and the tennis world.
It did. I remember the headlines. It was on the front pages every single day. And I tried not to look at that because that can be a little bit, to be honest with you, daunting and put that pressure on you and the expectation.
I also think, you've been so open about your story,
Yes.
about your personal struggles, about mental health. I feel like your Australian Open roller coaster, your journey, is sort of indicative of a lot of that. The challenges that you face, you coming up as a young player, that first round against Lindsay Davenport. There's been so many different roller coasters, and you've been able to forge your way through all of it.
Yeah, that's why this run was so important for me, even more, I would say, as a person than a tennis player. And even though I only retired 2 or 3 years after that, still because of my mental health and injuries, it was something that kept me going and pushing through for the next 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Even kind of through retirement, to have that moment. I felt like, okay, I had that moment where I almost feel like I always wanted to have that at a Grand Slam, but in Australia. So, Yeah, I think so. I think it's indicative of the fighting spirit, I would say, and who I am as a person.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cheers to you.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us in
No, it was
cinema
great.
sessions. And I mean, we're just gonna, you guys can head on home, but we're just gonna keep watching Jelena Dokic winning Australian Open matches. Love it.
That's nice.